Hey everybody, thanks for checking out my second Kenny Burrell video. I'm going to show you how to play the head to Saturday Night Blues. It's a blues in the key of G, and it's actually, even though it's a jazz blues, you could probably play it in a down-home kind of blues situation. So you'll see what I mean in a second. So let me go ahead and play it. Alright, there we go. I made a little bit of flub on the last G, but I think you get the idea there. Okay, so let's go in for a close-up. Okay, here we are for the close-up. If you saw the last video, I mentioned that I'm playing my 7-string guitar, so ignore that low A down there. I don't want you to get confused by that. So anyways, let's take a look at what's going on here. So we're coming out of this, this shape of G7. Well, actually before that, the pickup chord is sort of a D7, but actually it's a D suspended, D11. So we've got a D on the 5th string, a C on the 3rd string, an E on the 2nd string. Those are all 5th fret notes. So 5th string, 3rd string, 2nd string, and then a G, which is the suspended note, on the 3rd fret. So we go. So that's Kenny's pickup chord before we start into the head. Okay, so it's fingering is 2, 3 on the 3rd string, 4th finger on the 2nd string, and then 1st finger over here on the 1st string. So we have. So you can call that a D9 sus or a D11. I've heard it both ways. All right, so then we go into the G7 area of a G blues. Right, again, our primary chords are G7, C7, and D7. Okay, so the riff is coming out of your basic E shape, dominant 7th area. Okay, so what we're doing, we're playing a little double stop. I'm playing the B and the D, which is the 3rd and the 5th of the chord. And I'm using hybrid picking. I'm using these two fingers, my middle finger and my ring finger, to get a sharp attack on those two notes. So if you strum those, it doesn't quite have the same attack. You can do it, it'll sound okay. But hybrid picking, I think, is the way to go here. And I'm kind of doing some muting. So it has a nice short quality to it. Okay, so then I play the lower part of the triad, the G chord, with the G. I'm doing that. And then what I do, I'm barring over here, and this is a very common blues thing across different styles of blues. I'm going to hammer on from the B flat here on the 3rd fret back to the B. All right, you can hear that immediately as a blues sound. All right. So that's what we're doing on the G7. So again, these two notes with your middle and ring fingers here. Then I'm playing the G on the 4th string. And then I do, again with the hybrid picking. And hybrid picking is just pick with your other fingers, pitching in. Alright, so that's over the G7, and then on the 2nd bar, since it's kind of a slow blues, we change to the C7, and that could be C9 or C13 since it's a jazz blues. But we're playing this double stop here. Instead of this double stop, we're playing that one, which falls in line with a C9. So you see how it's kind of fitting the chord, these two notes. So we're doing the same thing, but without the hammer on. So far we have. Then we go back to the G7 riff. and then we have an extended riff that brings us to bar 5. We're going to go like this, and this is, I've heard this in several players across several genres too. I'm on the 2nd and 3rd strings. I'm doing a minor 3rd, the D and the F here, and I've got a G here. And then I bar all across those strings and go. Again, wait. So let's try that again. We got the 2nd and 3rd fingers here. 2nd finger there on the 2nd string. And the 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. And then my 1st finger is on right here. So I've got this shape right here. All right, then we're doing this again. The rhythm's a little different. We go to that G note a little quicker. So that's a nice blues line. We're sliding in. All right, so here's what we have so far. Okay. So if you need to stop the video to catch up and practice that until you get that on your fingers, go ahead and do that now. Okay, so then we're going to go to, we've got a G13 chord, which makes it a little more jazz bluesy than traditional blues. But I've got a little diagonal shape, and F, B, E, and G on top. So 3rd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, and then 1st fret. And that leads us to the C7. Okay, so we're going to go. And this is a C9, which is kind of under the heading of C7. But you're probably familiar with this. This is kind of the James Brown chord. That's how I think of it. Right, so we've got this shape right here. Going... and then we go back to G7. That's the same line. Okay, so far we have this. All right, so again, stop the video if you need to, and catch up. So now we're going to go on to the home stretch here. We're going to the 5, then the 4, and then the 1. My last 4 bars of the blues form in the key of G. So we're playing this D note here. And there's the upper part of the D9, just like play it down here. That's what you're playing. Okay. Then we slide into the C7. That's the 4 chord. All right, so. Little blues scale lick in the open position. Where I'm on the D flat here, 2nd fret. So 2nd string, and then on the 3rd string I've got a B flat and an open string, and then we just finish the head to this with the initial G riff twice. Okay, so from the top. All right, I hope you have fun with that. There's other things you can do with that, and you want to kind of take these licks and learn them in the initial key, but you want to also be able to move them into other keys and use that as part of your vocabulary. So for Kenny played it in the key of G. You can also play it in the key of B flat. You just move it according to your shapes here. So I move my G chord up to B flat, and so I can go up here. So experiment with moving around in different keys and taking little pieces of that riff and playing it within your own blues playing. Well, hope you enjoyed that Kenny Burrell G blues riff. Check it out and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.